Hello and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Randy4short or Randy4short. This will be the last catch-up video for my paycheck to paycheck budgets because I'll be catching up to where I am at this exact moment. So let's just hop right into it. And yeah, a couple of quick announcements. I am doing a giveaway right now, so if you didn't know about it, I'll link the video announcing it up in the card somewhere. Also, if you don't want to enter the giveaway, but you just want to help me get to 1,000 subscribers, we're so close, guys, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But other than that, let's just jump in. I believe the last place I left off on my paycheck to paycheck budget was setting up or showing you guys paycheck number 2 of my September budget. So let me just go through the results really quick, and then we'll move on to the results of paycheck number 1 for the October budget, and then I'll show you guys where I am now, which is the paycheck number 2 of October. Okay, so for paycheck number 2 from September, we ended up having a total income of $3,973.91. We did receive the minimum income that we were expecting of $26.90. So anything above that, we automatically put towards pay yourself first, which was $533.91, and we did roll over $750 to help out with the mortgage. So when it's all said and done, we received $533.91 more than what we were budgeting for. So that is part of our pay yourself first. So now our gas, groceries were on budget. Yard service, I believe I mentioned it that I was giving up on finding somebody to do our yard and that we were just going to do it ourselves. So I just set aside $15 in this paycheck budget just so that we can get, some kind of weed killer for our yard. So that was an automatic $45 save. Home repair, maintenance, and ID theft were on budget. We did pay the monthly bill for our hospital bill, which we actually did pay off in September. So let's see, I think I have the number. So to pay off that bill, it was $1,730.31 to pay off. So we went ahead and paid that off. So that is no longer a debt that we owe. Yay for debt payoff. We did pay our mortgage in full. We paid Vivint, was fine and on budget. Our the same thing with Citizen One, which was our home security equipment, which we did finance, unfortunately. So we did go ahead and make that monthly payment, but we did pay off the equipment as well. So to pay off that equipment, it was a total of $1,382.92. So in the month of September, we paid off 1,730 plus 138,292. We paid off $3,113.23 for those 2 debts. So that is very exciting. And for those who are curious, we went ahead and just paid it off from our savings because we had the money. It's just that I don't really like to let go of so much money, especially right now when, if I don't know if we're going to be able to put that money back quickly, because there's a certain amount, I don't think I've ever discussed this, but we do have money in our emergency fund. So we have a short-term emergency fund of $1,000 that we call our Murphy account. And then we have our longer-term emergency fund, which we do have money in there. So we just pulled that money out of the emergency fund and we paid off debt. So I know there's going to be people in the comments probably like, why would you pay off debt right now? There's people all across YouTube like, don't pay off debt right now. But if you've been following my budgets, we actually had to pay off debt because with my husband going part-time, that was the only way he could go part-time without us being over budget in our paychecks every single time, because we wouldn't have been able to afford him going part-time without paying off debt. Thankfully, Thankfully, the part-time hours have nothing to do with, everything that's going on right now. It's just part of the path that my family and I are taking as my husband is pursuing his med school journey. And, we're a family unit and we do things together. So me and my husband, our son is only almost 2. So that's what we felt was the best for our family. So it was a calculated risk and we're hoping it pays off and nothing happens. But you got to do what you got to do. Okay, so back to the paycheck. So Citizen 1, we no longer have going forward. Childcare for 2 weeks. We did put that money into our cash envelope. My husband had to renew his driver's license, so we just set aside $50 in our car repair and maintenance account for him to do so. We did fund $100 for our son to get some winter clothes. $11.99 for Hulu. We were on budget. My husband's this is my life insurance was on budget. I budgeted $7 for Disney, but it was only $6.99, so we got a penny. This is just a visual reminder to pay off our Costco credit card, and we did set aside the $24.12 at the end of our budget as I expected to. So if I add all of this up, we actually spent $3,370.87, and we had left over $69.13 from our expenses, from what was budgeted versus our actual. And then if you combine this $69.13 with the pay yourself first money, we actually ended up saving a total of $603.04. Okay, so that is September paycheck number 2 budget results. So now I'm going to grab my October budget. Alrighty, so this one, this is paycheck number 1 of October. It went from October 9th through October 22nd. So this was a very interesting budget. So I'll just go through it really quick. So we budgeted $2,690, but we actually received $2,555.21. So we received $134.79 less than what we estimated when I was doing this paycheck budget. So it's the same expenses, gas, groceries. We did roll over some money from this paycheck to go to paycheck number 2 to help with the mortgage. Amazon credit card is just a visual reminder to pay it off. Frontier, which is our home internet. I still had yard services so we can, save some money for our weed spray and all that. Toiletries and beauty, and each one of our fund money plus diapers. All of this, as you can see, it was all on budget. I did pay my school loans. Netflix was $12.99. Our natural gas came in under budget for $14.02, so we had $15.98 left over. iCloud was on budget. Car repair and maintenance, home repair and maintenance. We're back down to $20 for clothing. House supplies is $20. My husband's life insurance came out on budget. Our Edison is our electricity bill, and that came in under budget for $8.05 with $21.95 left over. Sapphire, we did pay that off in, I want to say August or early September, and that was about $5,000. So we are credit card debt free. Whew, thank you. Hallelujah. Because let's just say I'm glad that is paid off. So MetLife, which is our car insurance, that came in under budget for $225.84 with $27.16 left over. Childcare, we did put that money into our childcare envelope. I'll pause right here and kind of explain how I came to this number if you're new to my channel. So because we received less money than we were expecting, kind of the last, as you can see, the last expense that we had was childcare. So this is 2 weeks worth of childcare, and all we had to put towards it was $503.18, but we needed $640. So that meant that we were short $136.82. So that's why I take that and then I put it right here, because at the end of this budget, we were supposed to have $101.84, but because we needed that extra $136.82 to put towards childcare, so that we had the entire $640, we like the net difference between these two was $34.98. So of the money we had left over, we needed an extra $34.98 to cover our unbudgeted expense. So that is basically what happened. So if you add all of these up for the entire paycheck, we were short $104.68. So this is going to be like, now that my husband is part-time, this is going to be kind of a regular thing. And unless I was to adjust my budget going forward and reduce it from the, reduce it from the 5380 to what we're actually getting. So that's why I like budgeting from month to month and then paycheck to paycheck, because you can kind of like adjust things as you go. So if you watch my November budget, I told you that this 5380 I was reducing by $280 because of this paycheck right here. I knew that our paychecks for the month was going to roughly equal about $5,100. So it's not set in stone yet. It's like this is the first paycheck where we wanted to see exactly what my husband's paychecks would be if he only worked, the minimum required days. So in previous paychecks, he had like a couple more extra days. So this was the first real paycheck where it was just him working the minimum. So he does intend to pick up shifts, but I like to budget on exactly what we're going to receive and nothing more, because I know that it can be counted on. Like, he has required number of days that he has to go into work. So he's not required to pick up shifts. So I'm not going to base our budget on something that might happen, even though, it's a good chance that my husband will pick up shifts. But I just like to be conservative in our budget. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but I mean, it is what it is. So yeah, we were short. So now looking at this budget and knowing that the next budget will probably be short again, I wanted to go into this budget because this is the budget that I'm on right now. So, and our mortgage is due in this check. So there's not a lot of wiggle room in this budget. So I just kind of wanted to walk you guys through my thought process, because I believe this is actually the first time this has happened on my channel where like my budget is so tight and I don't really have a lot of wiggle room. So what needs to happen is this needs to be reduced by $140. So this really needs to be $2,550. So this would end up being $3,145. So I need to reduce these expenses by $140, but as you can see, all of these are pretty much essentials. So we need gas, we need groceries, and these groceries is for 2 weeks. So that's $250 for 2 weeks. Gas, $130 in gas for 2 weeks. Water and trash, can't do nothing about that. Verizon can't do nothing about that. ID theft, I mean, you could, but it's only $12, so can't really do anything about that. This $640 is for 2 weeks worth of childcare. So, I mean, I could do something about that, but they be prompt with debiting your account for their money. So I'm not really going to try and reduce the childcare either, because that is essential. And I'm not trying to really like get on bad terms with the daycare. So I'm not going to even play with that. Our mortgage, I mean, I'm definitely not playing with that. Vivint is our home security. Hulu, of course, we could cut that, but it's like $12. So, but don't get me wrong, every little bit counts, but I'm saying in this case, it's not really going to do much good. So, Life insurance for me, I'm definitely not going to play with that. And then medical, we typically have some money left over, but even before I needed to reduce this budget, we weren't going to have anything left over in this particular budget, which is, I mean, a first on my channel because I typically have money left over on our budgets. I make it a point to. So since this is my current budget, I actually have some decisions to make. So let me tell you what's going through my head and like the options that I'm thinking about, and that, you know, if you're ever in this situation, give you some options that you may not have thought about. So I need to come up with $140. That's first. Knowing how much you're short by or how much you need and everything like that, that in and of itself calms me down because it's like not an unknown. I know who my enemy is. Like, we're just saying being over budget is an enemy right now. Just bear with me. I know I only need $140. And I know that I've already adjusted my budget in November to account for the further loss in income that we're going to have. So I don't have to worry about the future. I just have to worry about right now, which again relieves pressure because this paycheck is only for 2 weeks. So what I'm thinking is either I can cut my cash envelopes, and this money is en route to Q Money, which is where I'm currently housing my cash envelopes and sinking funds. So I can't even reduce this right now. So that's the number one thing is one of my options. I'm not going to play with gas because you need to get to work. But we can eat, as Dave Ramsey says, rice and beans and rice, which I'm not a fan of beans, so I don't even know if that's even possible. But what I'm saying is we could reduce this budget to from 250 to what is that, 110, so that we have $110 for the next 2 weeks. And I typically go grocery shopping every weekend, or I should say I order groceries every weekend. So that would be $55 each week to have for groceries. And for a family of 3, where you have 2 adults and a child that's about to be 2. So it is doable for us. We're not going to be having a whole bunch of snacks and everything like that. But the thing is, we just went grocery shopping, so our house is pretty stocked. So we could even get away with not having to grocery shop for 1 week. So that is an option. So you could adjust any other cash envelopes or sinking funds that's in your budget so that you don't go over budget, because I mean, you just got paid, you know what expenses are coming up, so you can kind of like get ahead of being over budget, because all of these expenses, unless you have it set up that way, aren't going to come out, tomorrow. So you have a little wiggle room, or at least a little bit of time, in order to look this over and see how you can adjust it by cutting any other cash envelopes or sinking funds that's in your current budget. Another thing is that you could pull the money from savings. So I typically like to do that as a last resort. So unless I have to pull that money, I'm not going to. But that's just an option. Another option that you could do is you could talk to the companies that are providing you services and things like that and see if they're willing to work with you. See if you can adjust the bill and catch up the next month or the next pay period. Another thing you could do is look and see if you could borrow some money from another non-essential sinking fund or cash envelope. So like, do you have some money in your toiletries? Do you have some money in your house supplies? Do you have some money in your beauty? Like, do you have some fun money that you could use? Just look and see what your other cash envelopes and sinking funds are looking like. But make sure that you're on top of knowing when you need that money. So if you're in Southern California, we have to pay for our car tags or our car registration every year. So if you know your car tags are coming up, then maybe you don't want to pull some extra money from your car repair maintenance if you don't know for sure that you'll be able to put that money back in time to pay for your car tags, because that DMV will suspend your license with a quickness. Oh, and then the last thing is you could ask your family and friends if you could borrow the money. I personally, as a rule, do not ask family and friends for money unless I really, 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 really need it. And I know for sure that I can get that money back to them. And if I don't know if I can get it back to them, then I'll let them know, like, hey, I don't know when I can get the money back to you, but I for sure will get the money back to you. I just don't know when. So, I mean, it's just communication there, but that's all I could think of right now in this situation, like what my options are. So I just want to share them just in case someone, like one of you, were in this situation where these are pretty much essential bills and it's kind of like a sticky situation where these need to be paid, or, you know, gas and groceries need to be bought, but you are kind of short the money that you were expecting. And then if you see over here, we already got an unbudgeted expense because I'm like, it's Friday. And hubby was like, oh yeah, they got a Get Out and Us bundle on Voodoo for $15. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. I've seen Us, but I haven't seen Get Out, but I know it's a really good movie. So for all of you who are like, oh, you haven't seen Get Out? No, I haven't seen Get Out. It takes me a really long time to watch movies like that. And especially I'm a scaredy cat. So like thrillers and scary movies and stuff like that, it takes me a long time. And then dramas, it takes me a long time as well, because I'm not really a drama TV show and movie person. Too much drama in life for me to be sitting there watching it on TV too, but that's just me. So don't come for me in the comments. I intend to watch Get Out one day. You know, even though I just bought it, I still probably won't watch it. But who knows? Who knows? Tomorrow's a new day. So that's all I got for you guys today. Don't forget to check out the giveaway. I'll link it again up in the cards. And yeah, if you like this video, then hit the like button. And if you want to help me get to 1,000 subscribers without entering the giveaway, you know, just because you cool like that, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.